In this episode, we're talking more about becoming a vendor at the 2017 Boxing Trade Show. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Damon Okposio, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about being a vendor at the 2017 Boxing Trade Show. Now, sometimes people ask who should be a vendor and what kind of things are going to be there. So we're going to be at the Hansa House Hall in Mississauga, and one of the things is they don't like liquids or foods to be sold there. So if you are some sort of a food company, then I just need to ask the permission of whatever it is specifically that you're selling so that I can get approval from the board at the Hansa House Hall and find out if it's okay for you to actually have it there and be selling it there. If you have like protein bars or supplements, then those things are not a problem, and you can even give out samples, which are not an issue. So these are things that just to sort out ahead of time before you actually get the booth purchased, let me know, and I can always get that answer to you hopefully within about a week or so. That's the advantage of doing and preparing with these events so far out. The other thing too is with the trade show, sometimes people ask, well, what are people coming for? Is it just boxing? And I tell them it's anything that either a fighter or a fight fan would be interested in. So anything from people who do framing, because people frame posters and they frame pictures. Photographers can get booths there because a lot of people in the fight industry need their photos taken, whether it is strength and conditioning clinics. There's a lot of them out there. Boxers will often go to a boxing gym for their boxing skill, and then sometimes, especially the elite fighters, will go to a fitness gym or a sports-specific training facility to do their strength and conditioning. So that is all applicable, as well as masseuses, physiotherapists, lawyers, insurance. Those are all things that are going to be needed within the fight industry. Now, when we're going a little bit more vague, anybody that's been in the fight industry that has their own business, it would be great to have them as a vendor. Even if you're doing something as different as, like, say, a food product. So I'll give you an example. Fitzdewitt Vanderpool, who has had a booth at our trade show a number of times. He's a 2016 Ontario Boxing Hall of Fame inductee. And sometimes he brings down his belts to display, which generates a lot of conversation. And there's a lot of people that often want to take photos with them. But he's also, in the past, had his own, I guess it's a seasoning sauce, or seasoning or barbecue sauce that he's brought down that he promotes, or he'll sell a certain brand of his branded equipment. And that is all fantastic stuff on a number of fronts. Number one, they get to see someone who has competed and accomplished things in the sport. Number two, for other fighters, they can see how you can parlay your name and your career into making money for yourself. And it gives an opportunity for people to network and talk in an area where nobody's really getting ready for competition. So there isn't that, line where you may need to give somebody their space so they can focus. This is an area and a time where people are coming together so that they can purposely network and communicate. Now, another reason for people to be down at the trade show and get a vendor booth, or even just to participate, is the fact that there are going to be other companies there. The companies that are there have paid for their vendor space. So now you know that these are the companies that actually spend money to back their brands. They spend money in the sport. They're kind of the serious businesses of the sport. So these are the companies that you want to deal with in terms of getting sponsorship or just dealing with period, because you can see that they're a serious business and they're trying to get out there and they're looking for opportunities. So that might mean sponsorship for fighters, or it might mean collaborations for the other businesses that are there. Because you have a vendor booth doesn't mean that you can't go anywhere. I always suggest have 2 or 3 people at your booth so that one person can rotate and speak to all of the other vendors that are around, and also intermingle with people and see what people are actually talking about. That's the purpose of the trade show. You want to make the most of the opportunity that's there. Now, my prices have always stayed the same, and our first year in 2003 it was $150 for booths, and then from that point on we raised it to $200. It remains the same. You get a receipt, and it's an affordable way to get into a function like a trade show, especially one that's sports specific to a niche. So you know that people that are coming are interested in boxing, or at the very least curious about the fight game. For the vendors that get a booth at the actual trade show, I have an opportunity and a way for you to make that money back as well. So there are fundraising opportunities where you can raise back money to not only pay for your booth, but maybe make additional money so you can get a banner like one of these done to enhance your booth. Because you may want to do a banner, poster, flyers to draw more people in. You have to invest in yourself sometimes if you want to generate more business. I've developed one of these guides here, so when you do decide to get a booth at the trade show, I will give you one of these guides, and inside of it, it will have information on where you can get booths done, tablecloths if you want. I provide a plastic tablecloth to everyone, but if you want a custom-made tablecloth, Vision Graphics, which is one of my sponsors, has reduced their prices on all of this, all of these items, to make it even more affordable for people that are going to be taking part in the trade show. Then when you go over onto the next page, it's going to explain in detail time, date, location, setup time. So I've designed this to hopefully answer the majority of questions that you'll have. And then afterwards, if you need to contact me, my contact information is in there. So it would be helpful if you filled out this form, and you can photocopy it and scan it to me, email it to me, or mail it to me. And it has some sponsorship packages if you get on early enough that you can take advantage of in terms of getting the most value for your dollar. There's 2 seating charts in the back, and one is for the induction ceremony of Boston Pizza, so that people can know exactly where it is that they're going to be seated and what the venue is going to look like and the capacity. And the other is for the actual boxing trade show, so you have an idea of what booths are available. So the main hall is what we start off selling, and then if we have an extraordinary number of booths, then we'll also rent the overflow room here and continue to put booths inside there. But we always focus on the main hall first. And the young gentleman on the back, if you've seen the UFC video that I've done in 2016 for Donald Wambaught's world record attempt at the UFC gym, this is the young gentleman that did it. He's excellent at putting video programs together. He's relatively inexpensive as far as people that do videos, and I'm actually going to be hiring him if he's available to record, edit the induction ceremony, so it's going to look like a really high quality video. So all the information is there. The people that I use are in here as well, so that you can use them if you like the quality of the work that I produce. And those are some helpful tips in terms of when you're coming out to a trade show, or if you're interested in getting a vendor booth, the way that you can take advantage of those situations. And again, if you have any questions regarding that or regarding boxing, don't hesitate to contact me through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, through email ocposio@hotmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe through YouTube by going to Damien Ocposio to get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. Thanks for tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.